Susan had never been this far from home. Born and raised in suburban Ohio, she was spending her summer visiting her grandmother's village deep in rural Veracruz, Mexico, a sleepy place surrounded by thick jungle, cornfields, and a kind of silence that felt ancient. The air smelled of earth and smoke. In the evenings, the older women gathered in the courtyard, murmuring in low voices, their rosaries clicking in their fingers. One night, while Susan and her cousins sat outside watching the stars, she noticed strange glowing orbs dancing across the distant fields, floating balls of fire moving unnaturally against the wind. "Hey, what's that?" she asked. Her cousin Diego glanced nervously. "Don't look at them. They're brujas," he whispered. "Witches. They turn into fire to travel at night." Susan laughed, thinking he was joking. But none of her cousins joined her. Their faces were grave. A few nights later, after a village festival, Susan was riding home in the back of Diego's truck with his friend Mateo. The dirt road cut through tall fields, the moon barely lighting the path. As they rounded a bend, Diego slammed the brakes. Perched on a twisted tree branch was a massive owl, easily the size of a small child, its glowing yellow eyes fixed on them. "That's not normal," Mateo muttered. He reached for the hunting rifle always kept behind the seat. Before anyone could stop him, he aimed and fired. The owl let out a scream, not the cry of a bird, but a sharp human-like wail. When they approached the base of the tree, their blood ran cold. Behind it, lying in the grass, was not an owl, but a woman, bleeding from her shoulder, her face twisted in pain and rage. Terrified, they bolted back to the truck and drove away without looking back. 2 days later, the village woke to terrible news. Mateo's body was found in the fields, his head missing, his chest torn open. The villagers whispered that La Bruja had taken her revenge. Susan barely packed. Shaking, she begged her grandmother to take her to the airport. As her plane lifted off, she refused to look out the window, fearing she might see orbs of fire floating far below, waiting. She never returned to Veracruz again.